everyone, I'm Suzanne Wong, Editor-at-Large of Revolution Watch, and we are here today in the Met Gallery in Geneva to discover the very first watch by MB&F to be designed, created, imagined just for women. So we're here today in the Met Gallery because it has special significance to the creation of this watch actually. When you speak to Maximilian Bucer, the founder of MB&F, he talks about these cycles of creative energy, 7-year cycles. Now, on the 7th year at which MB&F was founded, the Met Gallery was set up. And also in that same year, the LM collection, the Legacy Machine collection, was launched for the first time. Previously, MB&F was known for its horological machines, its HMs, which were crazy, avant-garde, really sort of out there, space age kind of inspired pieces of horological creativity. And in its 7th year, the more sort of traditional looking Legacy machine was created. And so now we're in the 14th year of MB&F, and it's another milestone in the history of MB&F because we have here this beautiful creation, the LM Flying T, standing for Flying Tourbillon. As you can see, the design of this watch really fuses together two important components which Max Bucer felt was really important to convey about how he feels about the most important women in his life. It fuses together a sense of elegance and also a very strong sense of vitality. Memories of his mother, of his wife, of his daughters, women that really play a very strong role in the formation and the life of Maximilian Bucer. So the unique thing about this particular blend of elegance and vitality is that it's a combination you don't really see very much in watch design, in watchmaking in general. Usually when you think of an elegant watch, it's a calm kind of energy. It's not really very strong or dynamic or really high energy in that sense. But when you look at this watch, you can really see like a really vibrant kind of feeling to it. From all aspects. The sparkling diamonds that's on top of the tourbillon cage, you can see that. The deep bevels of the lugs, the asymmetry of the dial opening that frames the tourbillon. And actually that opening is something that I find very special because it's that asymmetry that is quite unique amongst all the MB&F creations. It's a design that is simultaneously very personal, intimate, and also very powerful. Everything in this watch has been designed to reflect the essence and the values and the kind of cornerstones of femininity that Max Bucer really wanted to emphasize. From the really strong height of the tourbillon, you can see that it really projects very high above the dial of the watch, which is something that you don't really see very much. Usually tourbillons, especially even flying tourbillons, which are supposed to be more elevated or floating in a sense, they kind of stay quite close to the rest of the movement, whereas this projects very far above the surface of the dial. It's very powerful, and this pillar-like, column-like structure is something that was deliberate, very much so because of how Max envisions the role of women being one very much of strength. If you turn the watch over to a reverse, you'll see that there is an automatic winding rotor in the shape of a sun, which is very different from again, the rest of the MB&F collection. And this again is something that reflects the feminine values, the strength, the life-giving kind of force that is central to how we see women in our lives and the value that they contribute. There are no harsh angles in this watch. Everything has been quite softened from the curves, the bevels of the lugs on the case. The lugs have been slimmed down and really tapering so that they look super elegant and but without being delicate because they still have to be very strong. The hands on the dial that are at 7 o'clock, instead of being straight hands, they're serpentine in shape, they're curved, and even the dial itself, which is made of black lacquer, has a very slight camber to it. One of the distinguishing design elements of MB&F's collection before this was the battle axe rotor. In fact, not just in the rotor, but in tourbillon bridges, in all sorts of little design motifs here and there, like the engraving on the crown, for example. That, in the LM Flying T, has been replaced by, first of all, the sun, a more simple bridge type of structure, replacing the battle axe tourbillon bridge that you would see in the rest of the flying tourbillons, and the crowns, which are just very simply set with a small little halo of diamonds. So that's where we are with the design of the new MB&F LM Flying T. But the real question is, how does it actually feel on the wrist? As you can see, the fit is just amazing. I mean, you wouldn't really have expected anything less from MB&F because they pay attention to every single detail. The diameter is at 38.5 millimeters, and the height, which seems quite substantial on the wrist, is 20 millimeters. One thing about wearing this watch is that you're immediately very conscious of how intimate this watch gives its expression of time. Because when you look at the dial, the indication of time is at the 7 o'clock position, 7 again, once again looping round to that whole 7-year cycle that we talked about. And it's facing directly the person wearing it. It's angled at 50 degrees so that, you know, the expression of time in the Flying T is extremely intimate and it's personal. It's your own time. It's for you. As we've seen increasingly from MB&F over the last few years, this engine is completely developed in-house. It's automatic, 100 hours of power reserve, 280 components for the engine, I believe, and with the tourbillon that beats at 2.5 Hertz or 18,000 beats per hour. So at this point, I think it's quite obvious how we feel about the new MB&F LM Flying T. We of course love it, and as you know, we at Revolution, we are a team of very strong women. There's a lot of us, which is, you know, quite in contrast with a lot of other watch media out there. And we're happy about this. And this is definitely a milestone for MB&F that we're very, very happy to see. It's a new kind of energy. It's a new kind of watch from MB&F. We're very, very happy about it. We love it. And we can't wait for the rest of you to have a chance in person to discover it for yourselves.